going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It is Sunday afternoon. Just got finished watching the Bills and the Jaguars play. So congratulations to the Jaguars. You know, I pretty much figured it was going to be a very slow game in terms of the play action is concerned. But the reason why I made this video is a lot of you guys are hearing about over the weekends. There seemed to have been a little spat between Fakhri and Matt Porter. And if you guys are not familiar with these two people, these are contest prep coaches. And, you know, a lot of people are calling it a fight. And, you know, I really wish you guys wouldn't say that there. The reason being is because it's just a little bit of an internet spat between coaching principles, which ultimately accumulated into an iron debate with Dave Palumbo, and I'm sure he got a lot of, he managed to get these two, along with King Kamali, to all come together to do the debate solely probably because of this entire incident here. But, you know, I just wanted to weigh in on the matter. First and foremost, I have no problems with Matt Porter. You know, he's, me and him are friends. And Fakhri, you know, I've met him a couple times. He's a good guy as well. You know, he's one of those New Yorkers there. You know, New Yorkers usually have a pretty hot temper there, you know, in terms of, you know, attitudes there. But, you know, Fakhri, you know, he's an all right guy there. I mean, in my opinion, they're both great coaches here. But, you know, there's a lot of things that were touched on. But here's my whole opinion about, you know, contest prep coaching there. Number one, when it comes to drugs and steroid protocols, you know, those steroid protocols don't mean diddly doo-dah if the person that you're training has absolutely no genetics whatsoever. You know, I think King Kamali made one good point that, you know, a blind albino monkey can go and train Phil Heath and he would still win the Mr. Olympia. And that's definitely true. And I can have the top coach in the world, the best professional personal chefs going out and training me, and I still wouldn't win a show. The reason being is because, you know, I have pretty poor genetics. I have long arms and I have a short torso. You know, I have competed there, you know, just for, you know, the love of the sport, as well as to, you know, because, I mean, just wanted to do it there, do a couple shows, you know, and see what it was like there. I mean, it's no different than when I did professional wrestling there. Ultimately, you know, because of my attempts in bodybuilding, I've been able to establish that as a repertoire for writing and other bodybuilding and fitness related ventures. But, you know, the big thing about it is that, you know, the person that you're training has to have the proper genetics here. Now, a great coach can train anyone to win your local event there, but when you're getting up into these national and professional levels, you know, that's when genetics plays a part there. So, you know, I think most of these contest prep coaches, you know, they need to really analyze, you know, the person that they're training. And there's a lot of these asswipe contest prep coaches that tells every single client that comes to them, it's like, yes, you're going to be Miss Olympia. No, yes, you're going to be Mr. Olympia. You're going to get your pro card. I can personally guarantee it. You know, if contest prep coach is giving you that information, run the fuck away. You know, I've had a number of people have told me that, hey, I'll help you get your pro card. And, you know, I mean, just quite look at my previous attempts at bodybuilding. Does it look like I would actually win a pro card? And I know I'm cracking on myself, but I'm being dead serious here. You know, I simply didn't have the genetics here. So that's why, you know, I never got into, you know, using steroids during my bodybuilding career. I did use them whenever I was back in the late 90s. Stopped in 2001, but that was mainly for professional wrestling and, you know, for my bouncing and security jobs there as well. You know, and that was my whole thing in order to maintain strength, to recover, you know, and because I was working a whole bunch of hours here. I mean, at the time I was using steroids, it definitely was not for bodybuilding. If it was there, you know, I don't know what my end results would be, but I don't think that I would have fared any better even on steroids here. So, I mean, a lot of these contest prep coaches here, they need to really analyze their client and just be realistic as far as to, hey, how far you can go there. A lot of them will continue to tell them that they'll win the Mr. or Miss Olympia or the Bikini World Show in order to keep collecting dues from them. And that's just plain wrong there. And I think that needs to be touched on a lot more. And then, I think coaching clients is a really big issue there. I mean, some coaches, they don't make much of a big deal because they have so many clients contacting them. But I think it's very unprofessional to just come to someone right after any event and go and say, hey, I can get you to the Mr. Olympia. I think that's unprofessional. It should be uncalled for. And that coach should be banned from going backstage and actually speaking with them there. Now, the final thing I'm going to touch on is just simply the business of contest prep. Now, I've never done any contest prep myself, but I have done personal training. So I have experience as far as the business side of it because it works all the same. Now, when I was training people, I used to make between $30 and $175 an hour for training. And how was I able to do this? It's quite simple. Whenever I listed my credentials on ipersonaltrainer.com, I would never put down a specific price. I would say, ask for rates here. Now, I live in Greenville, South Carolina. There is a very wealthy community up here called Thornblade. And that's where I made the $175 an hour doing the in-house personal training there. The reason why I charged $175 is that's because that was the price that was expected from the wealthy. They didn't expect to be trained for $30. I simply accommodated to the price that they actually expected for a personal trainer. If I was training someone at a gym, for example, I would charge them $30. And one thing a contest prep coach should never do is post their rates here. Just let them just have a feel out as far as to what they're wanting to do, and then that way you can charge an accommodating rate there. And that needs to be touched on a lot more, because what you can end up happening is you can undercharge someone and you end up spending more of your money and time than what they're actually paying you, and you can almost end up making almost minimum wage here. It's no different than some of these people that work booths and stuff, and they get one flat rate and they end up making about $2 an hour there, which is just kind of sad. But as far as Fakhri and Matt Porter is concerned, I'm not going to go and say which one's a better coach. I think they're awesome coaches. But I think we need to quit turning little internet spats and making them out into gigantic wars. These are just a dispute between two businessmen. It's no different than some of these bodybuilders that say that they're going to war on stage, and you got people like Cedric McMillan, who has actually been in war, or David Henry, who's been in the military. You're kind of disrespecting anyone that's been in the armed services. Bodybuilding is not war. You're training weights and you're eating a large amount of food. That, my friends, is not war. Period. So I don't think we should really make a big deal as far as the spat between Fakhri and Matt Porter is concerned. But, I think that it was really good that this happened because, we were able to see RX Muscles Iron Debate, both of them get together and discuss, simply contest prep coaching there.